There is no time. There is no space. It's just numbers and digits and words. That is all. It's just shapes, energies, vibrations, perspectives, tones, moods, manners. I represent Vatican City, the spiritual Vatican, of whom the population cannot be numbered. And a population that you can't number is a population that you can't quantify. You can't exact. You can't really define the citizens of Vatican because they're not registered under the world. See, Vatican City is a corporation. Vatican City is a company. What Vatican City is at its root is what happens when a king and a priest share the exact same role. What you rule becomes a Vatican City. You become a priest of the Vatican. You become a priest of the vat, a priest of the container of the wine. What is the container of the wine? The human race are containers of the wine. The wine is the life force explained by Christ. This is why you can't put new wine into old wineskins and vice versa. You can't put new wine into old wineskins either, because both will ruin the container. Both will ruin the vessel. Both will ruin the human. So these things have to match. If you're an old wineskin, you need old wine. If you're a new wineskin, you need new wine. Your spiritual consumption has to match your physical container. This is why we can say whatever we want to say, but how we look is what we really are. Even if we try to dress it up, even if we mask it, everything is actually an extension of who we really are inside. Everything. So be proud of who you are. I'm Taurian. I'm Hathorian. I'm the son of Hathor. 42182 from Venus. A spiritual citizen of Centauri. The male born with the 7 seals in him. With the Pleiadian sisters, as the 7 of them keep the candlesticks of revelation burning brightly before the throne of Isness, also known as the All, also known as the Unquantifiable, the one who is neither male nor female, but is above the idea of male or female, above the idea of rules, above the idea of reality. The All has to drop in vibration in order to enter any sphere of even imagination. So the All is 100% unapproachable because the All is 100% all-encompassing. See, the idea of the All gives birth to a compassionate soul once embodied. Because the All is so vast and the All is simply perpetuation itself, existing of both what we can and cannot grasp, both what we can and cannot imagine. The All has assigned a spiritual Vatican City here on earth, whose population cannot be numbered, who has groups of viceroys and vice cardinals and vicegerents, all holding lightus, all holding lucid fire. But not all fire maintains the same lucidity. Another translation for the term Catholic is universal. Who is it that has a belief that can extend throughout the entire human race, where it doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter who you call upon, you're going to find resonance with this person, the ones who embody this divine feminine energy, because that references the womb from which all things exist in space, beyond space, the universe and universes and multiverses, and even beyond those. The All sits outside of all of that and permeates all within that. So to simply be, not yourself, not the I, not your title, not your powers, not your descriptions, not your personalities, but to simply be. Take the M off misery and you have Isery. The state of being what is, the state of just simply existing as a soul, as a force, as nothing, as everything. Vatican City is protected, walled in by a leader who's both a king and a priest at the same time, who has both a country and a corporation at the same time, whose home and life and study all exist under the same roof, so to speak, under the same square footage. You can walk anywhere in the physical Vatican and cover it in under an hour on foot. See, this is a small city. That's why it's a small amount of people who are awakened. Last time they tried to number Vatican's population, they only came up to maybe 500 people, and they're not even allowed to reproduce. So the rules for the spiritual Vatican are similar. You will only be yourself. You'll be the first and last original. Even if you have kids who mimic you, even if you have kids who emulate you rather than imitate you, you're still going to be the first and last you, because you're an original. You're a Vatican. You're a priest, a messenger, a servant of the vat, of the life force that flows in and through humans. You are the attendant to those vessels. And you get this based on what your energy signature is. This is not under the auspices of the patriarchy. This is purely matriarchal. This is purely nourishing, hovering, educating, loving, instructing, growing. This is all alma mater talk. And it's nothing against the divine masculine. The divine masculine is the creation part of it, the physical force that demonstrates it, the thrusting forth, the projection of this, the embodiment of it. So there's nothing wrong with the divine masculine. It is just that the divine masculine was steered and governed by groups of people who had other agendas that didn't particularly mesh with the rest of the world around them. That's what happened. Depending on where you are, polarity wise, you could say whether this is good or evil, whether this is positive or negative. But what I say is, it is what it is. So this is why I'll be doing many more songs on Vatican City Viceroys. Yes, I'm going to keep going because this is part of the message we have to hammer home. And the message has to be wrapped up in parables and symbolic form. Use the luxury, because Hathor is near the place called Luxor. And we're not referencing a necessity to worship any deities of any way, shape, or form. What we're talking about is principles. Hathor is love and beauty. And when it comes to protection, she can go on a rampage that's so strong that she has to be drunken in order to be put back to sleep, to wake up as her original loving self. This is what Hathor is in essence. She's the most loving force because when she's crossed or when she feels like she's in danger, she is the most violent and she is the most powerful. This is Hathor. What Hathor's spirit has to be drunk upon to keep her rage in check is the aesthetics that her responsibility entails. See, she can be mystified by her own creation, by her own beauty. She can be drunken. So that's the strong beer that was given to her by Ra in order to appease her wrath. So this is why Hathorians, all Taurians from Centauri, all those who are governed by the Pleiadian sisters, don't let your wrath get out of control. Always let the scales tip more in favor of the aesthetics. You should only be showing flashes of your wrath if it comes to establishing boundaries, just to let forces that are opposite to you know that you have the kind of self-respect and self-esteem that is self-governing. So I'm Super T Sigma, better known as Taurian. I'm the Venusian yellow planet.